bass. Decent bass. That's a pretty good bass. Yeah. Decent little bass. A 2-pounder. Solid 2-pounder. Oh, hell. Hey, welcome to an edition of Shane Flint Outdoors. Got this nice 2-pound bass. Got a little bit of mark on him. I'm out at my local pond by my house, and today I'm just throwing around here with the spinnerbait, but I'm going to be throwing the Gilly a little bit, show you how to set that up, and check out a new rod that I got for Christmas. Nice little 2-pound bass to get started though. Let's see where it goes from here. I'll throw a few more times with the spinnerbait. Hey, might as well see if I can get a big one. Hey, thanks again for tuning in, everybody. I had to make a quick walk around the pond with the spinnerbait and see if I could catch a few fish. I did catch one nice 2-pounder, as you've seen. But what I want to really do today was talk about a new bait that I have and a new fishing rod that I got for Christmas. It's the 26th of December. It's 60 degrees, 60-something degrees here in Virginia, which is remarkable for this time of year. So I couldn't resist the urge of getting out here and at least throwing the rod and reel just a little bit. Hey, and rewarded with a nice bass. And hey, I might catch another one, you never know. But what I really want to talk to you about is this new bait called the Gilly. And I ordered these about 4 months ago when they first were announced at ICAST from Tackle Warehouse, and I finally got them in. I guess it's been about 10 days ago. I took them with me down to Florida to fish in a bass tournament. I didn't get a chance to use them, but what I found was they were not as easy to rig as the instructions said so. And here's how the package comes. This is the Gilly, power bait Gilly. Okay, nice. I mean, they come in different colors. I got the bluegill here, and I got some crappie colored ones that aren't in yet. But they come with instructions on how to rig them, and there's several different ways to rig them. But the primary way that it shows right here in the back corner, I thought the instructions were a little odd. And what I found out after sitting around messing with it, hey, you need the right hook, for sure. The right hook makes a difference. And this is the largest size. I think this is, I can't remember the number, but this is the largest size. And what I ended up using as a hook is a VMC wide gap 5/0 hook. So that's the hook that I'm using on the largest size Gilly. And if you look here, the Gilly has a lot of different fins on the side to supposedly keep it in the water level and correct. And it's very flexible. And we're gonna look at the action here in just a little bit. It'll be the first time I got to fish it. So hooking it right is important. So the way that I learned how to hook it was with this 5/0 hook is almost like Texas rigging a worm, except you're gonna go just a little bit shallower. And so what I did to hook this up is I came in right about where the hook starts to bend and came out right below the eye of the actual Gilly. And that gave me enough meat in there to turn this hook and get the eye in, and then right back here is where I ended up hooking it, if you can see that, to go through. And that ended up putting the hook, once it's come through, right below that, right above that gill flap. I guess you could get it above or below it. It almost makes this a pretty weedless bait, with it hooked like that. So it should swim pretty real lifelike once I hook it up. Rig, there's different instructions in the actual package. When you open this up inside the package, there's some other instructions on different ways to rig it, but I'm going to try it this way here at the pond just to see how it fishes, and see if I can catch some fish. I mean, this little pond right here is in my neighborhood. It's a private pond here, but I bring my grandkids here and catch bluegill all the time. Now, if you've watched my video a few weeks ago, I caught a big bass out of this pond. So, hey, this is what they've been eating. So maybe I'll catch another big bass in here. So we'll try it out. But before I tied it on, I want to show you my newest rod that I got. I just got this out of the rod tube a few minutes ago, and I'll take it off here. They do a really good job at Tackle Warehouse making sure you get your rod, delivered pretty cleanly. So this right here is a halo rod, which I've talked about before, and this is not the HMX series halo rod. This is actually the Black Widow, as you can see it in the handle there. This is the Black Widow edition rod. Really nice. Again, they do a really good job with the graphics and the carbon inlays. And this is a 7-foot medium, or I'm sorry, 7-foot medium heavy with a fast action tip. So I kind of like the fast action, and medium heavy is what I typically go with. I'm probably going to make this my new worming rod, because it's in a little bit lighter, a little bit shorter rod. I got just a 7-foot in this one, because all the rest of them been getting in the 7.3, but I want something a little bit more maneuverable, so I went a little bit shorter with 7-foot. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the rod that I was fishing with my spinnerbait a few minutes ago and caught that bass, and I'm going to take this reel off. This is a Daiwa Detachless C100, which I have one on order for this rod. But I'm going to swap this reel out real quick and tie on that Gilly and see how it throws on this new rod. So I got the Gilly rigged up here on my new rod. Feels pretty nice on the new rod. I'm going to give it a whirl here. We're going to cast it out. I'm going to kind of look at the action. And this right behind me off this dock is the deep end of the lake. Where I was walking around fishing on the spinnerbait was very shallow. I'm surprised I did catch a bass over there. But if I'm going to catch a fish, it's going to be on this deep end, I would guess, on this Gilly. And the first thing I noticed just testing around the dock before I turned the camera on, it kind of gives you a good darting action. It's very flexible. It almost looks like a dying bluegill. And I don't know for sure if that was the intent, but it just kind of, if you give it a little yank, it gives you a good action, and paused, and it floated down pretty well. So I'm going to throw it out. I didn't throw it out, just kind of jigged it around here at the dock, and let's see how it works. Just want to give you a little idea of the action on this. I don't know if you can see it in the water. Kind of has that dying bluegill look. Looks interesting. It does look like it'll catch some fish. It does sink pretty good. Probably fishing a little fast, but just trying to give you an idea of the action. There, I fished it real fast, and it kind of does. I thought it would have more of a tail wagging action, but I guess that is a pretty good, that's a pretty good imitation of a perch right there swimming along. So when it's up to speed, that looks like a pretty good, just give it a couple twitches. Yeah, that should catch some fish. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Gilly Swimbait. It looks really good. I didn't get any bites on it. I didn't figure as much here in December. Action's really good. I think this is going to be a good swim bait. I think it's going to be thrown at the right time, in the right circumstances, in the right water, just like any bait. I think there's some configuration things you can do. I think I'm going to put a nail weight in here to give it more of a deeper presentation. It does pop up pretty quick, even though I'm swimming it pretty slow right now. So I think I'll put a nail weight right underneath the chin. All right, a little heart attack there. So anyways, I think that I'll put a nail weight underneath the chin there, give it a little different presentation. The action's there, so it's going to catch fish. It's just going to be making sure you put it in the right place at the right time. It should draw a bite. I really think this swim bait will draw a bite. I will fish it a lot this year. I will fish it until either I lose confidence in it or catch a lot of fish on it. One of the two. I think it's going to be a big fish catcher. The new Halo rod that I got, this Black Widow edition, just sweet in my hand. I really like this rod so far. Hopefully I can catch some fish on it in the coming up here real soon in the winter and the spring. So again, thanks for tuning in to Shane Flynn Outdoors. Thought I'd give you an idea about the Gilly. See what you think. If you, I would say, if I was going to say buy or not, I'd say buy it and give it a shot. They come in different sizes, 1/0, 2/0, 3/0, if you will, a small, medium, large. This is a large version. They were hard to get on Tackle Warehouse because they were really a big hit at ICAST, and it took me about 3 or 4 months to get them in. So if you're wanting them for spring, I would order them now to make sure you have them in time. But until next time, tight lines and good luck fishing.